Jam on toast!
Hey everybody, welcome to Jam. I'm Cameron. Today the toast is to Land of the Dead. This is a response to hashtag We Are Movie Club. This week was Clayton's pick. If you're somehow unfamiliar with Clayton, go check him out. He's a great guy. He makes good videos. He likes horror movies if you're into that sort of thing. If you don't know him for whatever reason, you might know his wife, Grace Ventimiglia. If you like her stuff, go check out his stuff too, and it might be a good time for you. Land of the Dead was one that's kind of been sitting in the wings for me for quite some time, and I've always wanted to check it out, and I don't remember why I hadn't checked it out in forever and a day. Clayton, in fairness, I was excited to watch this when you announced it. So the short sell is that this is a post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies where the people are just hoping that the zombies don't become intelligent. Yeah. My love for this is the ladies. It might be shallow and stupid, but all the lady characters were not only very pretty, but they were independent, strong characters. It was kind of a weird bout for feminism. It really tells you that the people who made the movie, regardless of what you thought of the movie, know what they're doing. It's just a matter of what they chose to do. And hell, it's their movie. They can do what they want. Or maybe they just had wives that badgered them to death. Might hate it for this intelligent, tool-using zombies! I relived my nightmares from Walking Dead! No, in seriousness, I just don't subscribe to that sort of zombie. They're not zombies at that point. They're either sentient undead, or they're a monster that's similar to a zombie. It's like the vampires in Twilight. They're not vampires. They just act a lot like vampires. The MVP in this movie, I didn't really have one, so I kind of went with who was the least worst character. And it's not the actor's fault. For instance, John Leguizamo did an excellent job with his character. I just don't think there was a whole lot of one there, because everyone's kind of an asshole or an idiot in this movie. The two most redeemable characters to me are the Samoan guy Pillsbury and the girl Pretty Boy, which I give the credit to Pretty Boy because she's the only one who just did her job. She was loyal to something, which was the job. She drove and ran the friggin' Dead Reckoning tank thing that they had. Pillsbury realized that he was not hired to do a good job and turncoated. So while that's notable, he still turncoated. So he lost by half a point. Plus she was hotter. But on to the categories. Aesthetics. I had no idea what the budget was for this. I'm not researching anything with this movie. Like I do most movies, I go with what I'm presented. The practicals were excellent. I especially liked the female zombie that he taught to use the gun. The way her lip was done where you could see the teeth. The practicals on this are phenomenal. It made me wonder why they even put CG in it, because the CG is friggin' horrible. I don't understand why you would bother when your practicals are so good, because it just makes the movie look that much worse to put poor CG in. Especially the zombie priest scene where the guy from Grimm gets bit. That was completely unnecessary to have him have a whiplash thing where like his spine connecting his head, which wouldn't even hold together, especially when you can kick the zombie and their face falls off. There's just a lot of things that don't add up. It maybe have been different points in the writing process where they're like, oh, we can do this and we can do that. And they never thought about what they should be doing, and they never calculated it all together, which is surprising given the detail in the story. Aesthetics gets a 40. Character development. The character development that they did do was pretty thorough. We slowly learn more and more about everybody, including the city and the world we're in throughout the movie, which is fine to give us a slow feed of information. We don't need big expositions to make the development all the time, especially in an action/horror/zombie movie. That said, the general appearance of the characters, who's the hero, who's the assholes, who's the idiots, it all kind of comes pretty quick, and then we learn a little bit about them. So the quality of the characters we're developing isn't that great, but the development is very thorough in a few particular lanes. A lot of the characters we didn't get anything on. Like Pillsbury we got a little bit on. I'd actually like to know more about his character, about that squad that came in to support them, who they were, what the alignment with Kaufman really was. Even the hooker that was put in the arena, I'd like to know a little bit more. Pretty Boy, give me a story about the girl who got kidnapped in the tank, essentially, and had to drive around for whoever was holding the guns. There's probably like a whole nother movie with Denbo before this and his brother that we probably could have seen, and it would have made this movie just a tiny, tiny bit better. It feels like doing really good on about half a test. Character development gets a 60. Storyline. Now that the story involves intelligent zombies, it hurts it a lot in my eyes, but the story structure is not bad. They really looked at the details on where what has to be when and who's interacting with what to make things happen. And given that we're using intelligent zombies that can do things that most zombies can't normally do, like fording the river, that was a twist that they put in there, and I can respect the twist. The story just seems kind of bland. Post-apocalyptic place, infighting in the troops. The guy in charge has no connection with the people, so there's animosity between the people and the leader, who no one probably can get close to anyways, because he just sits in an office counting money, which, why would that be any good in a post-apocalyptic world? I don't know, it just feels very formulaic, and despite a couple twists, it doesn't seem very strong. Storyline gets 40. Compulsion. It's like Nazis and civil rights. As soon as you throw intelligent zombies in there, my brain kind of checks out. I started doing other things. Granted, I started watching this late, but I watched about half of it and fell asleep, and then I went back and tried to finish it. I did. So it is a watchable movie. It's just not a completely enjoyable movie to me, especially when we're dealing like asshole A is fighting with asshole B. It's just like someone get smart and use a tactic or two. Despite building like this super intricate mega tank thing and dealing with the bridges the way they did, they just have such poor tactics, and they're not ready for person-to-person attacks at all. They're just concerned about zombies. No one ever thought of what happens if someone steals Dead Reckoning. What happens if someone else shows up as a war band to take our town? There's just a lot of things missing that make it uninteresting, and little breaks here and there that are just kind of like, why is he doing that? And I have to remember that we're using intelligent zombies, so I have to change. It's exhausting. Compulsion gets a 20. Now if you throw all that up together, you get an average of 40. For my wrap-up video, I gotta say, this is not necessarily a bad movie. It's just really not one for me. The only intelligent zombies I subscribe to are those being necromantically empowered, which makes them more of an undead character than a zombie. Long story short, the good just doesn't outweigh the bad, even though there is good there. And for any random person that's not me, some of those bads will become goods, and it very well could outweigh the bad for you. If you choose to watch this, I hope you enjoy it. I hope somebody out there really enjoys it. Obviously, Clay liked it enough to back this one, and I feel bad having a poor review on anyone's pick, but I gotta be honest, I'd honestly feel worse if I gave it a good review when I didn't like it. But that doesn't mean other people won't. I'm only one guy. If you see this and you haven't already gotten in on it, check out the hashtag #WeAreMovieClub. Go ahead and search that. You'll see the other videos that other people are doing. Join us in on Movie Club. Do your own video. Jump in and check out the Hangouts on the weekends, or maybe we'll start one during the week as well. I think that's it for me. I'm Cameron. Have a nice day. If you want to see anything else we're up to, go ahead and click the annotations, and they'll take you to our other channels.